Hey there everybody, welcome. This is my transformation video for Touchtoys J16 and Nacrmmi, formerly known as Golden Shark. There will be bookmarks down in the description, so if you're looking for something specific, there you go. I'm going to go as close to the book as I can. Only difference is I'll do both arms at the same time and both legs at the same time, just to minimize all the flipping and flopping I have to do. Alright, I'm starting with the main landing gear tucked away, nose landing gear out. Canopy, I just haven't bothered to close it. So first thing, we're going to come back here, and we've got this panel that we're going to take off. I do have a broken tab underneath that. There we go. I'm just going to lift up gently, and there we go. Believe it or not, that tab still broke, even though I did it as gentle as I could, but whatever. I'll glue it back on. Next thing, right here, flip this up, and it just has two tabs and slots for it. Alright, now we're going to come back here. Now I'm going to undo these two strips and I'm going to get the weapon out. So, a bunch of different things to look out for. First thing, I'm just going to lift up here. I'm just trying to loosen some stuff up. Alright, it's fighting me a little. That's fine, that's what spudgers are for. So I'm going to pull apart on these back pieces. Now, your first transformation, these may be very, very, very tight, but they are supposed to just pull right out. And I'm going to lift up. Right here is a dovetail. So you got to undo the right side first. So that's what I'm going to do. There we go. Now that I got to that point, so there's a tab that hooks right underneath this large silver piece. So I have to lift this up just a little bit to get that tab out. You're not going to be able to lift the silver piece up all the way because of the way it's all mounted up. You see, I'll do that, and there you go. I can do the same thing on the other side. This one is fighting me uncharacteristically right now. Let's get the weapon out, because now I can. Of course, it does this when I'm on camera. Of course, of course. I just practiced this like 4 times in a row. Did not have this issue once. Thank you. Okay. So now that that is done, I'm going to rotate this out, and then rotate it again, just to get it out of there. Alright, lift up a little, bring it out to the side, and then there you go. So, what I just did, here is that small tab that hooked right underneath the silver piece. And then other than that, you've got this large tab that goes into the top of the arm, this small tab that goes right there. So you do have a few tabs, another small one right up here that goes into the shoulder. Yeah, into that slot right there. So it's that one, and then this tiny one. So you do have a bunch of slots to watch out for, tabs. Like I said, hopefully you're not unfortunate like I am. This one just popped off. So now that we got that done, next we're going to lift up on the canopy. So just open up the cockpit like normal, but then you want this body piece behind it lifted up. It only has 2 small pegs that it sits down on that are sitting right about here. But first transformation, it may still be really tight. So just be aware. Once we get to that point, I'm going to come back over here. Oh yes, the flipping begins. I'm going to loosen up these 2 ducts. I'm just going to slip a spudger right underneath. Okay. And now I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to rotate it out. It has this peg that pegs into the side of the ornament, and then it's got a small tab and slot right here. So you just lift up and pull out. You should be good to go. Next, go ahead with the landing gear. I'm going to lift up. I'm going to lift up on this portion, get it out of the way. So the hinges kind of go underneath the ducts, and you got very small pins right here that go into these side pieces. So that's why you have to do at least one, and then you can wiggle this out. I'll go ahead and fold this all the way in. I'll close the door. And then I'm going to fold these over and tab them in. All right. Now I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to fold the other piece out. There we go. Now I'm going to fold this down. I'm going to fold this end piece over as far as it'll go. Do the same over here. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and get the helmet kind of put together. So you pull up on that front seat, should be able to rotate these around, and then just collapse it on the back of the head. And as you do, the chair back will tab into the head, and the rest of it's more or less just sitting there. All right, that is that. Next, we're going to take these two panels and just lift them up. All right. Now we're going to separate the nose. All right. Once we get to this point, go ahead and lift up on them. And then lift up on the entire assembly that they're attached to. So these these little arms are on ball joints and they pop off really easily for me. So just be aware of that. Bring them out. There we go. I can kind of show you what I'm working with here. And there we go. I'll leave them there for now. I'm going to fold these kind of forward. And let's see here. Next thing, I'm going to go ahead and bring these apart just a little bit. I'm going to push down on the center console. And that's going to go all the way around between those pieces. And then you can close those pieces up and tab in these side pieces that we had flipped around. All right. And now we're going to split the cockpit at that break. And as you do that, you're going to make sure that the landing gear goes through. And then going to make sure these ball joints are in the proper location. This would be the time to take it apart and change if you need to. Looks like I need just a little bit more of an angle on them. So there we go. All right, so again, close all that up. These side panels do not really have a locking point. They just rest in place against the landing gear. All right, so you do that. There we go. that is a very stiff ball joint for me. So now that we got those where we want them, close it all back up, flip it around, and bring these together. You're going to split the radome just by pushing that in and then bending it. Do that on both sides. Bring them together. Get them tabbed in. Okay. Now that is one thing. The book tells you to clip these into that space, but they don't clip in. They will not get close enough to clip in. It's like right there, the radome is right up against the rest of it, and those are not clipped in. So where it says clip in, don't worry about it. Just rest them up there. As long as you have this all as tight and compact as you can get it, it will be fine. Now I'm going to rotate this around and lock it into place. It has these little panels here on the front. They're going to go into this slot on both sides. That is all you need to do with the canopy. There we go. All right. So we need to get this over here. This is very annoying. I am not a fan of this part of the transformation. So we're going to do this side first. You've already got it out as far as it'll go. You'll rotate this. Go ahead and rotate the gold piece out. Once you get up to there, you got to push it in. And I know you're going to be rubbing plastic. It's not a comfortable feeling. But as you push it in, make sure to rotate this piece down as far as it'll go. Bring this back. Okay. Open this up. And then you're going to get this underneath the two pieces here. And this is going to go in the front. A lot of clashing, a lot of uncomfortable squeezing and forcing. But there we go. Got it passed. I'm going to go ahead and close that up for now. We're going to come over here. We're going to lift the head up, and then we're going to do the same thing for this. So I'm going to get this up a little bit. Bring the head up, which might be able to pull it as well as push on the seat back to bring it up. Just untap that. Once you get the head up, these two nubs on the joint, you might be able to use them as leverage depending on how tight they are, but you need to rotate this panel around. And then, see if I can get the camera to pick it up for you. Right there is a tab that piece is going to tab into. There we go. I really wish I could show you better. But anyway, once the head is tabbed in, which it is, that panel that's under the head, the hinge will be totally flat. Now we're going to rotate this around. Which, yeah, I really don't like all the bending. And then make sure to squeeze it in, and then this will peg in underneath. Which is also the same way that it's going to mount in aircraft mode, just backwards. And then finally, this gold piece will go over the main landing gear. Now, it looks like it's supposed to clip over the landing gear and, you know, completely cover it up and everything. It's going to be pretty close. That's what I got. Pretty close. All right. So there we go. That is the chest. Now the head, the ears are on ball joints, so pull them out to disengage the peg, and then rotate them up and just wiggle them as you need to. You don't have a lot of room. And then you tab them into the front of the head. This part with the ears is going to be especially annoying if you have larger hands, because you have such little room to work with. There we go. That is it for the chest. Now we're going to do the arms next. And for starters, we're going to come underneath. We're going to lift up on these two triangle panels. And then we're going to get the skirt out. So you should be able to just lift straight up on it at first. Then the next part, it's got these little wings that go underneath. So what I'll do is I'll just move things to the side. I'll do one at a time, then bring it out at an angle. And I'll do the same for up here. It does not need a lot of force. Do not need to extend the skirt at this point. So you do that, then you come back here, lift this up, and you'll have two tabs going into slots. And you'll want to separate them there. You can put a spudger in the round holes and use that as a wedge just until you can get between them. And there we go. Now, if it didn't already do it, which it did, unplug these, both sides, because now we're going to separate the legs from the arms. And this is going to be weird. Let me see how I can explain it to you. So right about here is the ratcheting hip joints that allow the leg to kick forward and backward. You're going to be rotating those in order to separate everything. It's the book does an okay job of showing you, but it's just weird to think about. So I'm going to get under the wings here. Trying to find a good place to grab. And I'm going to basically pull them down. There we go. And you see, it comes with the hip skirt. There we go. We're getting there. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to stretch out my legs on both sides. And you have this little metal rod that's going to come up and lock into there. Now, right out of the box, one of these I was able to get just like that. This one fought and fought and fought me right out of the box. Now it's loosened up. I can still get there with my nail, get there with the spudger. There we go. But just be aware, out of the box, that is going to be a pain. I'm also going to fold this back up. I don't want it flopping around and breaking. Okay. Next. So the wings are going to be tabbed in. As such, you want to untab them, rotate them out, and then you're going to flip them all the way around. Okay. Let's see if I can show you. So those little white squares, you saw that they go into those holes. Well, then you also have this peg that goes into this port. So that's why you got to pull it down first, then you can rotate it. Otherwise, you might damage that peg. So, there we go. We're going to get the arms taken care of. This next part with the arms is very stupid. Sometimes it's very difficult depending on how much it wants to cooperate with you. So these pieces, you need to lift them up. There's a tab on the wing that goes underneath them, but it's going to be locked in place. So you just lift up a little bit, and then you crack it forward. But because the way this is set up, you can't just go all the way down. This is set up to be side to side. But there you go. Okay, this is the tab. Ooh, that's a tough one. Now I'm going to get the same on this side, and then we'll proceed. So I'm going to lift that up a little. I'm going to bring it down, and there we go. Good. Whew. Yikes. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do this wing first. It's right here. We're going to go ahead and lift up on the landing gear. We're going to untab the shoulder from the back of the wing. So I'll just grab this whole area, and I'm just going to kind of give it a wiggle and disengage it. Then I'll rotate it and bring it around the front for now. I'm going to go ahead and fold that fin in and kind of bring this one back a little bit. Bring the wing back. Okay, you just rotate it back, you untab this from the front of the wing, and once you have it back, slide it out. There we go. See, there's a slider right there. Once you have that, rotate the wing 90 degrees, and then you should be able to rotate this whole thing forward. I'm going to rotate this down as well for clearance sake. And now that we have this, you're going to rotate it another 90, so that the wing is effectively upside down and backwards from where it was. Now we're going to come around here, bend at this joint, okay? And you've got this tab that's going to go into this large slot. Now the book tells you to just line it up and push it in like this. I feel like eventually that tab's going to snap off just doing that. It is a very tight tab. So what I'll do is I'll go a little past, and then I'll angle it in and clip it in. Just like that. That's one shoulder done. Now we're going to do the arm. I'll try and keep it zoomed in a little bit more. So we're going to open up this side panel. Doesn't need a lot, but just enough that you can lift up on this. Get that rotated around. I'll close that for now. Now that this is rotated around, I'm going to open up this. Flip it around for these blasters. Now, notice how I've got these hinges because it comes through those. So if you try flipping it and you can't get it, just set up your hinges like what I got. You'll have the clearance. Once that's done, I'm going to rotate at the double jointed elbow. I'm going to rotate this pretty close to where it was, but not 100%. I'm going to look in here and I'm going to bring the hand out. Make sure this panel is open, and this panel with the blasters is going to come down and sit right there at the front. You're going to have this joint pretty much straight up and down, and then this will tab in. Just like that. Then, the final part for this particular hand, rotate that, rotate it around a little, bring this up, and then clip it together. And then here you go. You have a tab and slot here and here, here and here. And should just squeeze together. You can rotate the hand 180, and there you go, that's one done. Now we're going to do the same on the other side. Flip it, bring that out, untab the hand or the arm assembly from there. Okay, we're going to crack the wing loose and rotate it back. We're going to slide it out. There we go. Rotate this back. I'll fold this fin over. Rotate 90. Rotate all the way in. And then do another 90 in the other direction. Bring the arm, the shoulder over. Do the same. Right there. Okay. Let's get this hand set up. So open that up, flip that out, bring this all the way around, bring the blasters out. Come on. There we go. Okay, double jointed elbow. Put this back down, close up, lift out the hand, and then rotate this and fold it, tab it in. There you go. Rotate the hand. Okay. So there you go. That's the actual arms done, and now we need to finish up with the back. So we're going to fold these up. And as you do, at this joint back here that rotates, this joint, keep them out. And you're going to bring the cockpit down forward a little bit. Let me flip things around. Okay, so let me see if I can show you. All right. So you have this arm with the like mushroom cap. It is going to go into a slot right here on both sides. So right below this decorative piston setup, you've got a small slot. What you need to do is you're going to bring it back. Oh, before we do, rotate this whole assembly. You want this panel with the white X above this panel. That is a must. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to finish transforming him. It's that serious. So, bring this in. And from the back, whoops. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. I'm getting nauseous just watching the camera. One thing to note here, it is okay. So what I had was I was pushing the chest against the waist, so it wasn't able to come back as far as it should have. There we go. Now it's tabbed in. So that's tabbed in. I'll rotate this back up, and I'll get this one tabbed in. It's got a small tab right here by my fingernail. That's going to go into this slot. There you go. Going to do the same on the other side. Rotate this up first. Then bring this back. Once lined up, bring it forward. Tab this in. Okay, now we're going to come around the back, and we have two tabs here. You want the outer thicker one. That's going to go into the slot right here above my fingernail on this rounded panel. There we go. See how that is? Same thing over here. Large tab. There's the slot. Now we're just going to fold the landing gear back down, close the doors back up, fold these all the way down. For these wings, untab them forward because they are dovetails, rotate it back, and then rotate it back how it was. Again, crack them forward. rotate, rotate. And that is it for the chest and arms. These really small, like filler tabs, I haven't noticed if it really makes a difference how they go. I just go ahead and have them facing back, but I don't think it matters. And then these, make sure you did flatten these out. And that is that. I'll go ahead and rotate the arms so the gold piece on the shoulder is facing forward. And that's that. Now we're going to do more of the legs. And as we're doing more of the legs, we're going to start with the hips. So I'm going to bring these kind of more forward. And then we're going to rotate the legs. Okay. Now we're going to come back here. So what we're going to do is, you see we got this metal piece here. That's going to flip up. And when I flip it up, it's going to end up see if I can get my camera and lighting to focus. There it is. Right there. So you can see that plastic tab. There's the metal tab right underneath. That's where that cavity is going to go. It's going to encapsulate both of them. Then you have a tab and slot there and there, for a slot there and a tab there, or post and port, but you know what I mean. And one thing that will help is giving the legs 1 or 2 notches of kicking out, so you have the space to move this piece. Once you locate it, you should just tab in really easily. And there you go. That is all tabbed in on the side there. 1 second, let me adjust my camera. Okay, so now I'm going to slide this out, and I want both of them sitting so this hook is facing up, because now we have this to do. So we're going to rotate it around. You've got a tab here, it's going to go into a slot here. Bring it up and clip it in. Bring that down. Bring these out to the side. And you can see how they've got a square in them. That's for these hook tabs. So bring them back one at a time. You may need to rotate this to get it to line up. There we go. And you can see how that is firmly in the hole. All right. Same thing on the other side. Oh, much easier on that side. And then I kind of did it by mistake a second ago, but this is a good time to also rotate the chest down and make sure that it is clipped in. Should have done it back when doing the arms, and I kind of did it by mistake. I did forget to mention that. So, but it clips in pretty securely, similar to how Carefree did, how you just rotate the body down. But with the arms and everything in place, it is pretty well locked in. So, there we go. Next up, we'll get these side pieces. So we're going to rotate it back. And what we're going to do is bring it Let me see here. Okay. We're going to bring this up and then rotate this up. So it's going to be looking like that. You're going to do the same on both sides. And then we're just going to bring this up. Watch your double joints here. And there is a slot with those extra tabs. That's going to go right over that tab. We're going to do the same on the other side. Bring that toward me, bring that toward me, and tab it in. Okay. Almost there. I'm going to bring the butt flap around. Okay. I just folded those two down. So, we're almost there. All we have left is the legs. So doing the legs, first we're going to pull out on this panel. And then we're going to fold this small panel in. And then we're going to bend at the knee. And you want to bend at the ratcheted joint. Okay. You're going to lift up on this and lift up on this gray panel that's right underneath that knee cover. And that's going to come around and tab in right there. Then you can straighten the ratchet out, but you need to bend down here so you can get this piece rotated up. Bend the knee joint so that it's back like that. And then just rotate this around. Okay, see how it's all swept back? That is just to get this panel around the back of the leg. Now I'm going to do the same over here, and then we'll flip them upside down and we'll keep going. So again, this panel, bring it out. The small panel, flip it around. Bend at the ratchet. Come on. There we go. Okay, lift up on this gray panel and tab it in. Just bent backwards there. Thankfully I didn't damage anything. Okay, I'm going to straighten out the knee. I'm going to bend back here so I can get this around. Alright. This is what we got so far. We've done the gray panel up there, and we flipped that panel around. We're going to come under here. I'm going to open this panel up. I think it helps. You're going to untab this fin. And then you're going to untab the foot from the back. Now let me do the same over here because we're going to need to flip it around. Untab that, untab the fin. Okay, flip them around. Now you're supposed to be able to just lift up on this, but it has a square corner that goes right underneath here, so it's kind of annoying. But just try. Lift straight up. It also has a tab that goes into this slot. That should not be an issue for you. Alright, but there you go. Do the same over here. Alright. So now that we're at this point, we're going to rotate the foot down. And we're going to go ahead and assemble the foot and finish up. So first thing, go ahead and bend it at, there's a knee foot joint there. We're going to pull this out. I'm going to pull out on the chrome part of the foot. Let me see, I'm going to have to flip it for that. So let me do the same over here. Okay. On the chrome part of the foot, you should be able to just pull it out. And as you do, you rotate it, and then you've got 2 slots for 2 tabs. Tab that in. This piece, rotate it around, and fold it up. So you've got it sitting just like that. All right. We're going to rinse and repeat on this side. Chrome foot first. Rotate it, tab it in, and then rotate this around. There we go. Now we'll flip them back over. We'll do this side first. Ooh. So, bending at this gold joint, I'm going to slip this back and bring it out. I'm going to lift up on this really small dark gray piece, push it into the gold, and then it's just going to rest there. It's not going to tab in or anything. But now that I've done that, I'm going to rotate the foot. I'm going to bring this thruster up and clip it in, and I'm going to bring this down and clip it in. It's got a small peg, a hole here for a peg that's on its own double joint. So as you go to move it down, it should locate and tab in. All right, let's do the same over here. So slide that up. There's that dark gray piece right there in the center. Okay, got that. Bring this back, do a little rotate. There we go. Thruster up, this down on its own double hinge, and there we go. So we are almost there. So now what we're going to do with this piece, we're going to just rotate it inward, fold this up and tab it into itself, extend this and rotate it out. This piece, we're going to extend this dark gray piece on it, and now we're going to collapse this extendable knee joint. And probably going to have to use the ratcheting knee joint to give yourself some clearance, but you just fold it up, get it tabbed in, then we're going to take this piece, rotate it back, flip it around. It's got a very, very small tab, post and port right here. Very small one right under here. See it? Get that tabbed in. And then, actually, let me show you. You have this square port for this dark gray square peg. So, get that tabbed in. Got it. Good. Now this is going to fold up like so. This is going to rotate around. And we're going to finish the other side, and then we'll come around to the front, because that is going to be about it. Alright, so again, we're going to rotate this around, fold that piece in on itself, extend and rotate that out. Bring this around, extend that. I'm going to bend at the ratchet joint, compress the folding Z hinge, I'll call it. Okay, that's good. Now we'll get this piece down where it's supposed to be. Fold it in. You've got that square hole in the side. Very small pin right up here. Close this. Wrap that around the front. Now we'll come around the front. So this piece that we wrapped around, fold the end at 90 degrees and it will go right into here. Then this extendable piece, just bring it down and tab it into the front right here. The wing will fold backwards. And then you have the ankle joint here. This needs to be in the back. So there we go. Same thing over here. There. Extend that. Rotate the ankle back. And now I'm going to straighten out the knee joints so I can stand them up. And I'll fold that back. Extend the skirt. Go ahead and get him, get my camera adjusted. Okay. Oh. Well, that is it. He is transformed. I'm just trying to get him straightened out enough that I can pose him, because all of his joints are all weird after transforming him. But there you go. That is it. Touchtoys Nacrmmi. Oh, unfolding the hands, you just unfold the hands and then the thumb is on a ball joint. Roll it out. There you go. Touchtoys Nacrmmi. There's the front. There is the back and the side. All right, let's not waste any time. Let's get down to jet mode. Whew. And going to jet mode is going to be about just as rough in about the same places. So first thing, I'll fold up his hand here. I'll go ahead and rotate his hand. All right, we're gonna do it in the reverse. So nothing to it, let's get to it. Get these out of the way. That. Okay, so first thing, you're gonna untab the slider from the front and then unpeg the round port and bring it around and straighten that end out. Bring it around again, close it up. We're going to extend the ankle down. Good. Do the same on the other side. Extend the ankle down. Good. Thins out. Okay. Now let's get on the underside, the back side. Go ahead and fold this up. Unpeg this square piece. Get it out, rotate it around, and there we go. We're going to go ahead and undo the Z hinge, so just should be able to just grab it and pull it. All right. I will fold this gray piece in, and we'll leave that like that. We'll do the same on the other side before we get too far ahead of ourselves. Unpeg, rotate out, bring this up, and then do the Z hinge. Good. Okay. Now we're going to bring down this triangle piece and rotate this around on both sides. So triangle piece, rotate around. Okay. Foot, you're going to untab this center piece. I'm going to bring this thruster down. Oops. There we go. And I'm going to rotate. For this fin, I'm going to bring it underneath. And I'm going to rotate it out. I'm going to push on the toe to disengage the tabs. I'm going to rotate it. And then I'm going to fold it up. I'm going to close up this piece. I'm going to bend at the gold hinge and get this dark gray piece out and folded way back up. And then I'm just going to close all this up. There we go. Same thing over here. Do this first. Then I'll rotate the thruster down. I'll do a rotate. I'm going to fold this gray piece in, fold this piece in, bring the fin from between the toes out and around, untab the toe, rotate it and fold it in, and then I'll close this part up. Okay, so there we go so far. We're looking good, we're looking good. So that's what I mean with how the toe is going to be. Now, I'm going to keep this open. I'm going to rotate this all the way around. I'm going to tab that fin in, and then I'm going to close this up. There we go. Same thing over here. And also, there is a round hole right in here. Right in here is a round hole. That's for this. So, just to help give you a little bit more idea of what's going on here. But then plug the fin in, close this up. There we go. Now, rotate him around. So these large pieces, bend this out. All right. Then you're going to scoop it underneath, and you're just going to tab all this in. It's only got the one tab that goes into here. And other than that, it's just going to rest in place, but it's going to be a good, tight rest in place. Same over here. All right. Flip them back around. And you can see that part is pretty much done. Now I'm going to bend all of this way. I'm going to bend the Z-joint down so that I can get this on the other side. I'm going to open up. Here, I'm going to bend at the knee because I need to get this gray piece untabbed. So is what I do for this gray piece is I just use my spudger. If you have one, that'll work great. If not, well, they do give you one. Because I don't know how to do it without a spudger. Just rotate it around and tab it back in. Let me see here. Yeah, my finger's not catching on that. Come on. There we go. Okay, rotate that around. Tab it in. Now I'm going to straighten out that knee. to be careful here. So the slider wanted to come out of the slider. Yep, it did come out of the slider. Okay, I fixed it. That was weird. Haven't seen that slider pop out of itself before. But, so, back to how I was. This is how we should be. We're going to open up this panel, rotate it around so it'll kind of cover that gold joint. Fold that in and fold this whole thing in. Same thing over here. Get that and fold this in. And there we go. The legs are pretty much done. Next, we're going to go to the waist. We're going to untab these two gray pieces with the green pistons on them. There's one. There's two. Okay, you just need to get them like that, and then you'll get them. We're going to bring this skirt down, and there you go. Oops. Fold up these two fins, and that's what you got to work with. We'll rotate it. Good. Now we're going to undo these side pieces. So just untab it, rotate it around, and then bring these back down. Okay. Do the same on the other side. There we go. Now is what we're going to do. I'm going to adjust my camera. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we're going to have them kick forward at the hip a little bit so I can undo those pieces. Just pull them out, all right? And yeah. Go ahead and slide these out, rotate around, and we're going to undo these metal pieces. So I'll just take a spudger and get in there, and then once you do, you can fold them all the way back. Good. We're going to leave the legs there for now, because now we got to go back to the arms. Okay, so get into the arms. First thing, I'm going to go ahead and rotate that, fold it forward, and then clip it back into place. Be careful of how you do it, just so you can make sure that you can clip them into place. All right, I'll fold these up a little bit. I'll open these and I'll get the landing gear out. And these tabs in the back here, I'm going to undo those first. Should be able to just pull up on them. Your first transformation, they may be a little tight. If so, you can try and get a pointed spudger, like in between the two tabs or something like that. We'll bring it around. And we're going to untab these pieces. And those you should be able to just lift up. I'll rotate this down. And now remember, for those two in the back, you got to push in and back at the same time. It's pretty weird. It works, but it is weird. Here you go. Push back and out. This one. Push back and out. There we go. And now should be able to disconnect this and rotate it up. All right. Let's see here. best angle I can use. Yeah, that'll have to work. Not the best I could use, but oh, well, it'll work. We're gonna rotate right here. Rotate on both sides. There we go. Whole objective of that was to flip these around so the rivet lines match up, but also now we can get to the arms and there's not really anything in the way. So, camera. So, first thing, I want to disengage the shoulder. Should be able to just pretty much pull it out. Okay, just rotate it out. Rotate that around. Now, I'm not going to do it right now, but I will show you. You have this slot for this tab, and then this tab that did just lock in, it's going to go in there sideways. You'll see what I mean in a second, but I just wanted to show you those. So what we're going to do. We're going to rotate this 90 degrees, then rotate it all the way out. Then we're going to straighten out this panel that was up at his shoulder, and then we're going to rotate this all the way back, slide it in, and you're going to tab it together. If you got everything set up, this front piece may still fight, but it shouldn't be too bad. See, there it is. I'm going to rotate that up. I'm going to rotate this up and get it in. Let me put the main landing gear away just for safekeepings. And we're going to do the exact same over here before we do the arms. So again, rotate 90. Rotate 90. Rotate again. Rotate that. Slide together. And get that tabbed in. Landing gear down. Close up. And get this up. And then this piece, oops, it just tabbed in the wrong way. Oh wait, no. Nah, I didn't untab it. Sorry, I am filming this video pretty much in one shot, so yeah, it's getting to me. There we go. Okay, this is how you have both wings looking. Whew. Next up, we're going to do the arms. So, lift up on this piece. Then you'll open up this little side piece so you can bring this out and rotate it. We're going to go ahead and bring the hand in. You want it so the ball joint for the thumb is facing, is on the top. Okay, that's the best way I can describe it. Now that we got that, I'm going to rotate this out and around. Oops. I want to use the other joint. There we go. We're going to rotate this around. Okay. Now, here's a thing. So when we started this, the gold part of the shoulder was facing up and down. If you want, you can have it out like this. I'm going to put it back the way that it was. Right about there. So the gold is facing up. But you could do it the other way if you want. Now we're going to bring this around. And now this large tab is going to fit into this large slot. And then you lock that down. And that is how you've got it set up. Okay? Now we're going to rotate this in. And you know what? Before I do that, I'll show you on this arm. Before I can continue that arm, I'm going to show you because there's some tabs you're going to line up. So lift up on that. Lift out on that and open that. Fold the hand in. Rotate, rotate this. I'm not following my own instructions here. There we go. All that room. Good. So, what I want to show you, you have this tab that just goes into this cavity, and then you have something similar back here where it just rests in place. You need the double joints pretty much looking like that in order for everything to compact up properly. Alright, so now that that's done, I'll get this in the same position as the other arm, rotate that around, put it into the cavity, close that up, and now I'll straighten that out. So, let me see here. There it is. Right above my thumbnail, you can see that little black slot. That's where this tab's going to go. And it's going to be partially underneath the cover. So, it's just going to be a little annoying. You've got to kind of scoop it into place. Some things may come undone as you're doing it, including your own sanity. It should not be incredibly difficult. You shouldn't be sitting here struggling, but there we go. Lifting up on this little corner on the arm piece did help. Let's do that again over here. Got it. And then for these back pieces, you just rotate them around. Watch the L-shaped joint that they have, and they're going to tab in right back here. Now they are going to come undone constantly, but I'm still going to just show you where they go. And these, should have done it sooner, but thankfully I can still get to it now. Rotate these out. Good. That is the wings complete. That's the arms complete. So now, we're going to bring the legs, we're going to rotate at these joints. I'm going to rotate the wings up before I forget and get into a very serious misstep. Okay, I'm going to have to lift up my camera a lot. Okay, so back here, I'm going to rotate at the hip joints. I'm going to get the wings in the back, as they should be. Flop, flop, flop. There we go. You'll know the wings are good when you got the white squares in place and they're all lined up here. Okay, just remember you got the small post-in port that I had warned you about going to robot mode. Now, this is where we are at. We're going to get all of this taken care of. Then we'll finish up here. So remember, we're going to rotate at the hip joints. Same way we just rotated a second ago, but we're going to do it more now. Very floppy. Nope, wrong way, wrong way. This is not the only way to rotate them, but it's the easiest way I have found, while being careful with the stress that you're putting on the bot. Alright, but I'm pretty close. There we go. You will know that's right when these squares that my thumbnails are touching are in place. Okay. Next up, we can join the legs right here. Good. And we're going to put this in place. Now, to do this, you've got two small square tabs that go underneath these. You've got a hole here for a pin here on both sides. These pieces will go into these slots, or sorry, underneath here. And then one other thing, lift this up, lift these up. Now, do it before anything else. Now we can do this, and we're going to basically just angle it and do it one side at a time. You can get the front done. Then we're going to get under here. We'll angle one side, then the other. Good. And then for this, you see these two small squares? Those are going to tab into the arms. So just close all of this up at once now. We'll get the wings down. Get those tabbed into the arms. Then I'll close these two up, and I'll close this up. And now I need to go back and make sure everything else is good. Give it a squeeze. Okay. Before we go any further, we're going to go ahead and put the weapon back in place. I just realized I never showed you the weapon earlier. Here it is. Okay, sorry, this is out of sequence. Lift up on this and close it in place. Just tabs in right there. Extend this. Lift up, rotate, tab for a slot. And then here, it only rotates one way. If you try rotating it the other way, it's not going to go. So there you go, that is his weapon. He holds it by this tab and this slot. And it's offset. This fin has to be facing away from him. Okay, there you go. Rotate that back down. Rotate that. Rotate that. You do have two small nubs. Not really picking them. It's kind of picking them up right there by my thumbnail. That goes into this hole. So you'll know that it's good. And then lift up on this and fold it down. Also, in bot mode, by the canopy right in the center of his back, the canopy has a very small square port right here. This tab plugs into that, and that's your weapon storage for robot mode. Okay? So there we go. Very sorry about doing that out of sequence. It is a busy day, as you can see. So we've got the weapon. We're going to rotate this around and get it into place. We're going to do the left side first. As we get to here, make sure to hook this underneath the engine. And there we go. Put this in place. This I am definitely doing a little out of sequence. The book tells you to do all this later. I'm doing it now to give us some stability in the rest of the aircraft. Alright, get that folded in. It is a little weird on that how that folds, but you'll get it. Okay, I need to lift up on this piece. Get this hooked underneath it. Good, that went easy. Push this down. Squeeze these together. Push the dovetail together. Make sure everything is closed up. Alright, and then flip this down, close this up, and it just goes straight down. Okay. There is something somewhere that is preventing me from fully closing this up the way that it should. Oh, well, that would explain it. The blade is rotated. There we go. And that is the back of the alt mode. Now it's going to be easier for all the different flipping and flopping I got to do for the chest. Okay. Hey, we're in the home stretch. We are almost there. I am doing my best here. So, ball joint on the ears, push in, disengage the front, there we go, and then rotate it down. Clip it in. It has a, you can see it, this port for a post on the back of the ear. And you do have to engage those, otherwise it won't fit in the cockpit, and you just never close anything up. But, so you do that. We're going to undo this guy, pull it out, and then do that same thing. Rotate and rotate it a little. Pull it out, rotate it some more. Really do not like this. Got it. Wow. Okay, we'll go ahead and flip this up a little bit, and then flip this panel out from around it, and there you go. That one's done. Now, undo the gold piece first, then unclip the one half, and then bring this up. Now that we're at this point, we're going to untab the piece that the head is on, bring the head back, rotate this piece all the way under, make sure the head's ears are still tabbed in, unlike mine, and then we're going to completely fold the head down. There we go. You want the ears sitting below the body line. Now we're going to do this piece. So again, up and out at the same time. And there we go. close that up. Rotate this under and then close it up. Rotate this back. Open up this side panel and close this all the way up. And then just make sure that the ornament is nice and flat. It's got a double joint on it, so it will do pretty much what you need it to do, but you want it to be as compact as possible. All right. Next up, do the nose. Just split them apart, extend this out. Same over here. Split it, extend it. Good. We're gonna untab. Well, I guess not untab, but we're gonna rotate this, which will get the landing gear out of there. I'm gonna flip it around. Next, I'm gonna untab these two panels. Start to bring the metal piece forward. Flip the center console all the way around. And then bring these two pieces completely forward. I'll go ahead and start to flip these. Now we need to play these ball joints again. I really do not like how tight these are. So as you rotate, eventually they're going to end up like this. That's going to be the orientation you want them in. And then you'll have, I'll show you the one side, you'll have the L shape coming out and over, but it's going to be flat against the metal piece that they're mounted on. I'm showing you now because you're about to not be able to see anything because of clearance. All right, so we're getting there. Now we're going to rotate at this silver joint. We're going to rotate right there. See how that does? So we're going to rotate there as we get this a little bit closer. This other one is not cooperating on the rotate part. It will eventually though, I'll get it. So I'm getting ready to close up the nose. You've got a very small port right here for a pin right on the other side of this. Yeah, you can kind of see the pin there next to my finger. You got to make sure those pins go in. That is important. And in order for those pins to go in, you need those ball joints set up the proper way. This right one on my copy sometimes likes to fight. Let's see if I can get it this time. All right, now it's the other one fighting, and it's all because of that ball joint, apparently. Then you've got all these other pins and a couple tabs. Because we're just connecting the nose together at this point, you just have to make sure that you connect those back pins by the cockpit, and that these ball joint pieces are properly rotated. I see what it is. This metal piece doesn't want to rotate. There we go. Good. Next, we're going to close these up. And they are dovetails, so it should just get right in there. Okay, so you got these dovetails lined up. You got the cockpit all squeezed together up here. So next up, we'll go ahead and let's go ahead and get, here, get this. Disengaged the canopy. Really? There it is. Wow. Because with the landing gear undone, we can still bend here, which will make this a little bit easier. Alright. Next up, we're going to fold this piece in. So just rotate it in. And it'll fit into that cavity. If it wants to fight, you can always give it a little bit of a rotate, the ornamental piece. Not exactly sure what it's contacting right now. There we go. Alright, something just didn't want to line up. But once you get it in, you've got a tab right here. Okay. Now we'll do the landing gear. So undo these two small tabs. And then you can just unfold it. Make sure you open up the main landing gear door. Then bring it back. Now these hinges, you got to work them underneath those ducts. So just do the one side first that you already plugged in the side panel for. And then do the other side. And then as you go to come down, you've got two openings here for the two mushroom head pins on those panels with the dovetails. There we go, and then you can close this panel up, making sure that everything is squeezed together. Now we're going to close up these two ducts, just tap them right in. Everything should already be lined up. I'll go ahead and close the landing gear now. Last thing we have is the head and the canopy. So the head, you lift up on it, untab the seat back, rotate the helmet pieces around, and you see those two gray tabs? They're going to go into those little notches. Just like that. Squeeze them in. Bring the seat back up. Okay, that's as far up as that needs to be. Maybe. Yep. And close this down. You have a very small pin on each side, so just close this straight down. And then one last check to make sure everything is nice and tight. And that is it. Touchtoys, Nacrmmi, formerly known as Mullen Shark. Okay, this has been a long one. It has. So, if you've stuck around the whole time, hopefully I was able to help you. And, yeah, if you've just been skipping around, that's all well and good too. Use what you need out of the transformation. I'm here to help. So, there you go. Thank you for watching. And hopefully the next transformation isn't this rough. See you next time.